I'm off out to try and photograph mushrooms stroke fungi. Why not come with me and see what images we can get? Well, good afternoon, and you find me out and about in the Lake District yet again. One of these days I will get further afield. But as said in my last video, was actually recorded yesterday and I managed to get it sorted out and uploaded. So I've come out this afternoon in search of mushrooms to photograph. I have on occasions photographed mushrooms, but it's not something that I am particularly good, well, not necessarily good at, but experienced in. So I mean, the first problem is I haven't got a clue where to look for them, where they would actually appear. So I've just come up by down water to Ashness, what I call Ashness Wood or Ashness Forest, parking at the Surprise View car park. Surprise View is somewhere that overlooks Derwent Water, and so that's where we've come, because I think a woodland is an ideal place for mushrooms. So that's where I've come. That's what the plan is. Now, whether I do them handheld, which I've done in the past, whether I use the tripod, or whether I use I've got some extension rings. Now, whether I'd put those on, which help get a closer focus, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, we're just going to have a look around, see what we can come up with, and hopefully get some great images. So I'll stop rabbiting on and get looking for mushrooms. So we'll catch up with you a little bit later. Right, well, we haven't come far from when I last spoke to you, and the thought was that mushrooms, or should I really say fungi, or fungus, probably often grow where there's death and decay. So there was this fallen tree, and I thought, I wonder if there's anything here. There's nothing on the roots, but on the tree, I don't know whether you can see them, how well it's showing them. There are these small growths of fungi which I'm trying to capture. I've taken one image so far, and you can see if I come round, bring the camera around a bit, this camera around, you'll see there's a small insert between the lens and the camera. That's an extension tube, which means then I can get a lot closer. You can see there where there's the camera compared to the fungi I'm photographing, where with the normal, without that, I was struggling a bit for it to fill the frame. When I was to get it to focus, I had to move back, which left me a bit far away. So yeah, I mean, I've got the 24-70, I've got it at 70, and just looking down at the thing, that's a 12mm extension tube. I have got some wider, but we're going to try this. I have taken one image, but I'm not convinced on the focusing. The problem when you get very close is your depth of field is a lot narrower. So what I might do is I'll sort of bank that one, so to speak, but then I'll take possibly just 3 images and focusing on different parts of the fungi, and then we'll focus stack it, and then we'll put them up to compare what we see. As you can see, the end of the lens is only, what, maybe 3 or 4 inches, which would be somewhere 7 to 10 centimeters away. So we're getting fairly close. I probably could get closer still, but yeah, we'll try that. We'll try focus stacking, and then we'll put the 2 images up just so we can compare and contrast to that. And then once we've got those, I'll go in search of something else. There's quite a big wood here. I have put an extra layer on, so I'm actually starting to feel warm now. I was feeling quite cold. The temperature has dropped, and I think I'd got a bit cool in the house. Come out, but now I've got 4 layers on. I might end up taking one off once I get properly warmed up. So yeah, as I say, we'll put these up and we'll catch up with you a little bit later. Right, well, I haven't really moved on. I just happened to turn round and saw a little mushroom, and then saw this one. I don't know whether you can see the circle just in front of the lens. So I've managed to capture an image that I've just done a straightforward image of that rather than contemplating focus stacking, because it's so awkward to get at. And again, I've got the 12mm extension tube, and we've got the lens at 70mm, and you'll see, because we're very low, I've actually got it on the platypod, which is a sort of metal plate with, I've then put the tripod head on. The first time I tried it, I had to hold it down because I couldn't get it to stable, and I wasn't totally convinced about the image, so I decided to have another go. And as you can see there, I've managed to get it. It's relatively stable, whereas before it was just falling over, and I had to put my finger on the plate to keep it from falling over. So yeah, and what I'd thought of, what I will try and do is, with the images I've got, I'll try and work out what sort of fungi it actually is. I don't know how easy that is, whether to put the image into Google search or whatever, but I'll do my best. And yeah, at the moment it's raining, but there is blue sky about it. It was talking about showers. If it does rain much more, I'm going to have to put my waterproofs on, which I don't really want to have to do. But yeah, so we'll put these images up. You'll have seen the other ones, hopefully you've liked them, and we'll definitely move this time and go in search of some more fungi. So yeah, whatever happens, we'll see you a little bit later. Right. Well, it's not proven that easy to find mushrooms or fungi. I've been looking quite a bit, and I did come across, and I don't know whether we can see it. I'll try zooming. Whoops. Let's come back to, let's change to zoom. Let's zoom in. And I don't know whether you can see in the nook of the tree there is a mushroom. And if I show you the back of the camera, that's the back of the camera, that's the live view at the moment. But what I did do, that's gone off now, and I'll just show you. We've got down here a Lume Cube light. I normally use it for video, just to light up. That it's not brilliant. That's at full full light, and you can just see the mushroom there, and that's what I used when I was taking the image. And obviously with it being in there, alright, let's just turn that off because I don't want to waste the battery. I couldn't get that close. I had been using the 24-70, but as you can see on the camera there, I've got me 70-200 on, and yeah, so that seems to be working. But I've had to stack the extension tubes. I've got a 36 on and a 24 to be able to get it to focus, otherwise it wasn't focusing, and it was struggling at that. So I'm just debating whether to try taking another image and put the 12 one on as well, and see if that works. I haven't focused that, I've just done the one image because I was struggling to get it to focus as it was. So yeah, hopefully you'll like the image. We'll put that up, and then we'll go hunting to see if we can find at least one more lot of fungi to photograph. But yeah, I mean, that shows you what we can do. We can, when it's a bit dark, we can light it up. When we can't get in, we can put the longer lens on, although we, as I said, we've had to stack the extension tubes on to get it to focus. So yeah, anyway, as I say, we'll put the image up, and whatever happens, we'll catch up with you later. Right, well, we've come up with our fourth and final composition. As you can see, there's the camera. This is a fallen tree that's fallen some time ago. I think some of the others I looked at were fairly more recent. And that's just, because I don't know how well this is going to work. We'll just turn this light on, and as we come in, hopefully, and bend down, hopefully you can see in there, there's the mushrooms that I found. And on this occasion, I've got the 24-70 on, and it's at 70mm. We'll just turn that light off now. Oops, wrong button. Right, that goes off. Right, so yeah, you can see it's extended to 70mm, but I was able to focus without any extension tube. So this is just the lens by itself, because it's should we say a wider composition. It's not just the one mushroom. We need to be slightly further back rather than zoomed right in. So yeah, but what I have tried doing, the final images, or the final image I took was just with the natural light. And if I don't know whether I can show you, I did do one sort of lighting from sort of there, but I also did one from lighting underneath there. So I'm not quite sure which will come out best, but yeah, and hopefully we'll get a nice image, and hopefully you'll like it. I don't think there's much else to say about this one. We haven't come a huge distance into the wood. I think it's something that if I really want to get into photographing fungi, what I do need to learn, because I've spent quite a lot of time just looking around and not seeing anything, to work out where is the best place to look for the fungi, and whether I've found different sorts or not. As I said, I will try and see if I can work out what sort of fungi they are, what sort of mushrooms they are, and put the information up. And when I put the information up, I will put what extension tubes I've used. I think I misunderstood at the last one. I had got the largest and the middle one on, and I think I said 36 and 24. It's actually 36 and 20. The extension tubes I've got are 12, 20 and 36. So if you put them all on, that's 36, 56, 68 mil you can do in total. But yeah, that's interesting. So we'll pack up and we'll think about heading back to the van and then back home. So we'll catch up with you shortly. Right, well, now back on the road to where the van is. This is the road from, I suppose you'd say, from Ashness. It goes over Ashness Bridge, and there's the car park at Surprise View, which where I've parked, and then eventually it goes to Whatendleth. So that's the road. So we're back on there now. We didn't actually walk upon this, but we've walked through the woods looking for the fungi. But having now finished and not particularly going to take any more images, I'm going the quickest way back, which is to walk on the road. So yeah, it's been a good afternoon, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. And if you haven't already done so, please click the thumbs up. And if you really like what I'm doing, why not subscribe? It doesn't cost anything. And what I do really appreciate is comments. All comments are much appreciated, whether they're positive, negative, just saying we liked it or we didn't like this. It's all useful in trying to work out what is best for the channel. So yeah, I have, as I said at the beginning, I have photographed fungi before, but coming out specifically for that. The hardest thing I found was actually finding it. I thought it would be dead easy, but no. But I did find 4 lots to take 4 images and explain what I was doing. And it was interesting what the differences were in terms of using the extension tubes or not. With the last one, I didn't really need them. On the one where we were further away and using the longer lens, needed a bigger extension tube. As I say, I had both the 36 and the 20 on. So yeah, and the use of the light. I mean, it does light them up. It's not the best of lights, but it is compact. Obviously, if you're wanting brighter lights, you need probably a bigger light, which will take up more room, whereas that is fairly compact. And what I did really buy it for was, if you're using it with this camera, if it was really dark, and I wanted to do, mainly if I wanted to do a piece to camera, it could light up me sufficiently that you'd be able to do that. And it works well for that. I have used it, but it was useful on a couple of the compositions just to light it up a bit. So yeah, I've learnt quite a bit, and hopefully you have as well. And I think it is something I will try and do again, but I do need to work out more about actually looking the sort of locations where I would find fungi to actually photograph and that. So yeah, hopefully there's a video I did from yesterday will be going up very shortly at 5 o'clock today, Sunday the 2nd of November. And this one, all being well, assuming all the video and the images are fine, the aim is to put this up on Wednesday, and I am thinking of trying to get out tomorrow to record another video that I can then put up the following Sunday, because that weekend might be a bit difficult in getting out, because I think my wife wants to go down and see our new granddaughter, although she hasn't been born yet. By next weekend she should have been, and so there is the possibility of going down there. So yeah, so more or less back at Surprise View. And yeah, so as I say, try and get out tomorrow, although I haven't quite worked out where I want to go and what sort of landscape photography I want to do. So it's always difficult, particularly when I seem to be under pressure to get these out, although it's self-inflicted pressure. And yeah, we just come back to Surprise View there, looking at the lake. The lake is quite high, some of the footpaths are well underwater, etc. So yeah, so we'll see you on the next video.